So if you have kids in college by now, they've already started to complain about some of their professors. You know, it's no different than when you were in high school. You liked some, others were just like so by the book. The difference is this generation gets to go online and rip their professors if they need to.
Yeah, it's a fantastic resource. So there's this thing called Rate My Professors, okay? It's a website, and it does exactly as it says. You get to rate professors at certain schools. And it was a super useful resource for me when I was in college because I would scour that thing every single time when I was signing up for classes. Abby, did you ever use this?
Rate My Professor?
Yeah.
No, because I wanted to have my own opinion about my professors.
Wow. What an intellectual. All right. So the cool thing...
No, the reality is I was in the College of Communications and we didn't care. We were like, everyone is smoking weed after our class. Everyone's chill.
Maybe it's because I went to an engineering school. It was like really important for you to look at this. So the way that this website works is it's essentially Yelp for your professor. So you're able to give them a rating on like a scale of 0 to 5, but then you can also indicate like, was attendance mandatory? Was the textbook used? So then you knew if you needed to buy the textbook or not. How, like, what was homework? What grade did you get in the class? And then there's also an area for you to write your own review. Okay. And some people use the website to give critical but important feedback on the professor that the professors actually look at and take to heart. And then other people just use it as like a straight up vent line for whenever things were going maybe way too good or way too bad. So it sort of depended. So I scoured the internet for sort of the most fun and unhinged versions of reviews, and I've categorized them into 3 different ones. And so we're going to start off with those that were considered boring classes and boring professors.
What a very engineering way to handle it. I have classified them into 3 different categories.
I have an Excel spreadsheet.
And I studied finance. I didn't even study engineering. So the first one is, in all caps, boring. But I did learn that there are 137 tiles on the ceiling.
Oh, wow. You were hella bored.
Yeah. Bring a pillow to class so when you lose consciousness, your head won't slam on your desk. And bring a pillow for your pillow because your pillow will fall asleep too.
The lesson is being proactive.
Exactly.
Preparing for anything.
In this last one, texts are dull and irrelevant. Do not waste your time. There is nothing to be learned from Professor Linta. Okay. Harsh and to the point. Now, this next category is talking about the difficulty of the class, okay? Especially when I didn't really experience a ton of extremely difficult professors, but my engineering buddies, they had some horror stories about how difficult some of these classes were.
What was the hard? There's a class that sticks out in my head as one of the hardest classes I took.
I could tell you the one that I literally had to drop out of 3 times because my mind couldn't conceive what was going on. I swear this is true. Logic.
Are you kidding?
Philosophy, logic. My mind just couldn't process, man. 3 times I had to drop out of it.
I failed one class and I dropped out of one. I failed either macro or microeconomics. I think it was microeconomics, and then I dropped out of astronomy because I thought it was going to be like a fun star class, and it's physics.
Yes. So when I was taking astronomy, right, I failed that class, but I was so mad that I failed it that I took it again, and I almost failed it twice. But I wanted to like show you. I thought astronomy. Oh, we're going to learn about the stars.
Literally,
man, no, that class was so freaking hard.
That's my favorite class.
I hated that class.
It was hard though. When they start talking about the physics around a black hole, I checked out.
Fair enough. So this is talking about difficulty. You can't even cheat in her class because nobody knows the answers. This lady is too strict with grammar and writing. Lady, we've got lives, jobs, and families, and this was a writing course for future elementary school teachers. I used to like bio, not anymore. I could have cured cancer, but because of her, we will never know. I never wore my seatbelt while driving to school because I wanted to die before making it to this class. Definitely brutal. All right, and this last category is what I call the unhinged category. This is where people are just going off the walls on these professors.
Wait,
okay?
The one that said they didn't wear a seatbelt, they wanted to die, didn't make the unhinged category?
Just you wait. I believe Jennifer is evil. There is something dark inside of her. Walking into her lecture, you may sense a demonic presence. She will select random facts from the lecture for the test. Good luck. Next one. He seems happy and teaches well, but there's just something off about him that I can't put my finger on. He smiles, but there's no warmth there. Just a terrible emptiness like you'd find in the rusting hull of a ship forgotten at the bottom of the Dead Sea.
Oh, wow. Creative writing class.
Right?
Something happened to him to make him this way. I do not know what it is. No one does. And last but not least, this one's just super random. Although this man is a terrific trombone player, he is a terrible person, and I hate him.
Right to the point. Right to the point.
The Bert Show.